don't waste your time applying to jobs. It's a waste of money. If you're not 100% perfect fit, this machine will kick you out. It's a waste of time. They're automating a process that doesn't predict performance. The best people don't get jobs by posting. They get the job because of someone they knew. So this is the point about how do you go through the back door? What I would do is use the job posting as a lead. If someone's looking for a software manager, a marketing analyst, or an accountant, it just used as a lead. Obviously, they're hiring, but you got to say, how do I get to the top of the list? 300 to 500 people apply to every job. Of those 300 to 500, 475 are totally unqualified. So you got 25 that are, so that all the applicant tracking systems are trying to get rid of the 475, and then they got the 25 that are left. And sometimes you get the 25 that are left, they already got another job if they're any good. So it's a big waste of time. It's this black hole. You do not go in the back hole, the black hole. Use the posting as a lead. And you got to figure out, how can I get referred? And I'm going to give you some stories here of how to get referred. If I saw a marketing position looking for someone to do some competitive analysis, I'm going to say, oh, who's their competitors? Maybe I'll do a quick article on read an article about who the competitors are for that marketing analyst, and write a little summary and say, hey, I did some studies about product A, B, and C, and send it to a marketing manager in that company. It doesn't even matter if they own the job. That person, oh, that's pretty cool. So a candidate would actually do this to me. You can find a marketing manager in any company in the world. Send them an email and send them, hey, I understand somebody in your company is looking for that. They'll call the person up internally and send it off. Hey, you got to talk to this candidate. So use it as a lead. And that's the back door. Let me just say this. If you go to HR, they are gatekeepers. They are not your friend in terms of this. They're a gatekeeper. So you got to get in. How do I figure out, how do I get referred to that? So this is part of the networking piece. And I think too many people misunderstand networking. Networking isn't meeting hundreds and hundreds of people, although it's possible that might work. What I suggest is, if you've been anywhere in the world where you've been a good employee, competent, productive, reliable, and a good teammate, contact those people who can vouch for you and ask them to introduce you to 4 or 5 people who they know. And if you're really competent, productive, reliable, and a good teammate, they'll introduce you to people. Then meet with those people and ask them, and I'm going to show you what you're going to say to those people. Then you're going to ask for more names from those people. That's how you become a true networker. It's not about meeting everybody and glad handing. It's hard work. But if you're only going to spend 10 to 20% of your time applying to jobs, you got 80% of the time to do the right stuff. And it's hard work, but it's the right way to go. Also prepare a non-resume. This is a candidate that I remember a candidate from Italy calls, and he wanted to work at a big telecommunication company. And I just said, and it was pretty much that story I said about marketing. He said he got his MBA at some master's program in Italy, and he wanted to work for one of the big European telecommunications company. And I said, do you know the names of them? He said, sure, I know here, and here. I said, do you know their products? And he had, I don't know if he had a technical background. He said, but I could learn. And I said, why don't you put a process together where you just look at all the products, just do a competitive matrix, and do a quick report, 2-page report, send it off to the VP marketing of each company. Well, he went through that and he said, Lou, I got 2 interviews. I hadn't heard, this was like 3, whatever happened. He said, I got 2 interviews and I'll get back to you, but he never got back to me, but I assume he got a job from one of those. It's just an unusual way. Or do a video showing a product sample. There's a risk in hiring someone whom you don't know. There's a risk. That's why they ask for all of this stuff, all the skills, all the first impression stuff, and it's not predictive of your performance. So there's a risk in hiring someone you don't know. To me, if you're a candidate, there's also a risk in accepting a job you don't know. But why don't you prepare a video describing a product? Hey, I did this analysis at this company, or I designed this product, I did this, and this. Just a video. I don't know what it is, and start sending it out. But the key is you got to be different. All right. You can also redo the job description, and I'm going to show you how in a minute. But this proves, so let me kind of just give you a quick sense, and then I'll kind of show you how I always take assignments. So I'm going to go back to my first search assignment in 1978. This is when it was, 1978. You guys think that's the olden days. It was the olden days. We certainly didn't have phones. I think we had real phones where you dialed up, I guess. I can't remember that part. And we just had computers that just started. And I had my first PC had 48K. 48K. And that's 40, and literally K. It was pretty small, but it still cost me $1,000 at the time. Nonetheless, when I took my first search assignment, the hiring manager, and you guys can say these same exact words, said, Lou, I'm looking, and it was another plant manager because I had a lot of background in manufacturing, need someone to with 10 to 15 years of experience in this manufacturing process, this material control stuff, this background, has to be results oriented, all the typical stuff. And I said to the CEO of the company, I said, Mike, this is not a job description. So what are you talking about? I said, that's a person description. A job doesn't have skills, experience, and competencies. That's what a person has. A job is something a person needs to do. Let's put the job description in the parking lot and tell me what you want the person to do. And he said, oh, interesting. He said, I want a person to turn around the manufacturing plant. So I said, fine, let's go out to the manufacturing plant. I have been so many manufacturing plants, it was easy. We spent an hour there and we found 6 or 7 things a person needed to do to turn around the plant. Realign all the manufacturing processes, develop all the logistics and warehousing. We looked at the quality assurance programs, had to be totally upgraded. We looked at how the material and procurement was ordered. That had to be a problem. We looked at how labor was managed and coordinated with each of the production sites. We just, after an hour, I said, okay, I'll find someone who can do that work. In 1,000 assignments later, including as of last week, I have never used a job description that lists skills, experience, and competencies. I always ask the hiring manager, what does a person need to do to be successful? And if you're looking for a job, you find a lead on a job posting for a marketing analyst, you probably know what a marketing analyst needs to do. And you might want to say, hey, if you're looking for a marketing analyst to do A, B, and C, here's some stuff that I've done that might be worth talking about. So you'll send that to somebody in that company. You'll put the non-job description to that company with a non-resume to that company, and you'll demonstrate that you've got competent ability and team skills. And we're going to show you how to pull that off in a second, but that's what I would suggest you do. And do some non-work. Hey, you know what these companies are looking for? Do a little bit of, spend a day or two, really pick half a dozen jobs that you really want to work for and prove that you can do that work. Prove it, do it. Do an analysis, conduct an ROI analysis. Review that if you're looking for an accounting job, look at the company's financial statements and do some ratio analysis. If you're looking at, I remember I hired a guy to do our website. He went through our whole website and said, here's what you need to do. I hired a guy and he did it. I mean, he spent 3 hours and he said, oh, people, I don't want to do consulting work. I should get paid for it. BS, do consulting work. Prove that you're good. No big deal. It'll help you get jobs. That's what people who are reliable and productive do. So you want to prove you're competent, prove you're competent.